Yeah. Okay, before we go into that though,
Right.
we are technically a whole year older
Yes, we are.
than the last episode, which was like literally a month ago. Probably.
Speaking to you as a 22-year-old.
Yeah, you're like a baby to me. I'm a
Yay!
whole year and 3 days older than
I
you.
know, you're so old.
I
Oh my
know, I'm just
gosh.
so old.
Dang.
But yeah, um, yeah, our birthdays were about 2 weeks ago, and yeah, we were gonna do a birthday episode, and then we just did.
And then it just didn't
We can
happen.
do a birthday episode next year.
Yeah, we'll actually plan better. I'll block my weekend off for our birthday, and we
Yeah.
can bake a cake and do everything.
Yeah,
Smash our face in the cake and all that kind of jazz.
that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever. Would you be mad if somebody like smashed your face into a cake?
If someone smashed my face,
Yeah, like if they were like singing happy birthday and you were gonna, and like you like took the candle out and then they like pushed your face into the cake.
I don't know. I think it depends. I wouldn't be like mad, but I'd be like, dang, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like, I think if I really felt mad, I like obviously talk to them later.
Yeah.
Or like in a private place. So I think that they would do it in front of other people. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, why'd you do it? So like I think I'll put on a good face. I'm sure it'll be fun in the moment, but I'm like, then I have to wash my face and it's just like a lot of work.
Yeah. No.
But it's never happened to me before, so can't say.
Yeah.
Why didn't Devin leave? But yes, as I was saying, I finished the entire like TV show Psych, all 8 seasons. So now I have nothing to do with my boyfriend when we eat like lunch or dinner, or like when we're just watching things. Just because Psych was our like go-to. It was like, oh, do you want to watch Psych? And now we need like a new show or a new like movie. And so now I've been on this like movie binge because I like haven't watched that many movies in my life. I like haven't seen Disney or like Marvel or anything.
What movie did you watch? Mulan.
So,
How was
yes,
Mulan?
we
Did you
watched
like
Mulan, and then we watched Mulan 2 because it's so good.
Oh yeah.
I loved the movie. I love how it's like girl power and how she like leaves the camp to like do it for her dad, and then her dragon honestly was so stupid, but I liked the dragon.
You didn't like Mushu?
I liked Mushu in the first movie, but not the second movie.
I should give you the book that I read that's like kind of based off of Mulan.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. It's like definitely a lot less kid friendly, but like in terms of it's just like more violent.
So I started a note for the movies that I've watched so I can rate it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I rated Mulan like 10 out of 10. It was like just that good.
I love Mulan.
I loved it. And then we watched the second one because I wanted more romance.
Yeah.
And the second one was good, but Mushu was annoying. I really didn't like that. And there was no development in the plot. So that kind of was disappointing. But yeah, I teared up. I loved the Asian representation. I loved like she sacrificed for her family and then like falling in love with the dude. But then he's like, but you're a woman and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Her idea with the avalanche, so good.
Yeah.
All the men there, so stupid.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like her strength is her intellect in the movie in general.
Have you seen the movie The Passengers with who is it? Jennifer Lawrence and
I've only seen like clips of it.
I think is it Chris Pratt?
Oh yeah,
Brad
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Pitt. I get those two mixed up.
I think it's Chris Pratt.
Okay, yeah, Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And the movie is so good. Yeah, was that my first or second movie? I think that was the second movie. Well, it was like the movie after Mulan because I watched Mulan too. That was like on a different day. 10 out of 10. Teared up. So good. We have to watch it together.
I know. I just know that he like woke her up and like she wasn't supposed to be like it wasn't like a malfunction or something.
It was like there's like a right amount of plot and the right amount of romance. It's like sci-fi. I feel like you'd like it. We should watch it together.
Yeah, I've been watching. Well, I just finished watching the show The 100.
Oh my gosh, I have watched that. It's so good.
Yeah, I watched like the first couple seasons previously, so I watched those again, and then I kind of skipped through the ending seasons because it kind of got weird.
No.
Well, because it started just like seeming like they were trying to add more plot when there was a lot left to add.
That's fair.
Because the reason why I started watching it again though was because I saw a clip of when Monty and Harper,
Mm-hmm.
like stay. They don't go into like the cryosleep, and they have like a kid and stuff. And I saw that part.
Oh.
I was like, oh, maybe I should watch it to see like what happens around there.
Oh, I guess I didn't finish it, but I watched up until the point it was like they killed the people in the bunker and like everything was fine. People landed on Earth. Are you watching Inventing Anna? Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, maybe we can watch that. We can decide Passengers or Inventing
Yeah,
Anna for dinner.
that's crazy. But like, she literally has an ankle
I know.
bracelet thingy.
In her pictures, she's
Yeah,
like sporting an ankle monitor, and I'm
yeah.
like, what are you trying to like show?
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, welcome back to Doing It for Fun. I'm Ashley,
I'm Cindy.
and today we're gonna actually talk about our topic, which is the last couple episodes of The Bachelorette, including the finale,
Mm-hmm.
and what has happened since then, which was literally the beginning of this week. But
Mm-hmm.
it was crazy.
It's been a while since.
But we haven't talked about any of them since the last episode,
Right.
which we talked about maybe the first couple, 4-ish.
To be fair, I only seen like the first 3 episodes and then the finale.
Yeah.
That's all I have to judge. I
The
think
middle
Ashley's
ones
watched
weren't
more.
that interesting, so
Yeah, that's why I skipped them.
yeah.
Exactly
But
why.
first, we can talk about a little bit about their hometowns,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't have that much written down, but basically, Devin in his hometown, basically most of them were like still kind of unsure about where they stand, which I really don't understand. When you're going on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, like all of them wanted like clarity, kind of, but I'm like, she's still dating 4 of you. Why are you like asking for so much from her when she's trying to like be as open as she can?
Right.
But like, you know that she's still dating 3 other people.
Mm-hmm.
She can't just like give you everything. But that was a different thing. But basically, Devin, he at the end of he tells Jenn that he loves her,
Of course he does.
which I feel like maybe it may have been strategic then. Now
Oh, because
that
it's hometowns?
yeah, because
That's
I
fair.
feel like he really wanted to see if he would last, and really wanted Jenn to say it back to him, but she didn't. But like he was, I think that's what he was trying to get at, kind
Right.
of. But also, this is after the fact now. I heard, you know how did you watch Hometowns?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you know how he went on a like brought her to his run club.
Yeah, they look like fake friends.
Apparently, he stole that idea, or
How did he steal it?
he
Like, what do
maybe
you mean?
potentially stole that idea, because I saw a TikTok today of how one of the other guys named Thomas
Mm-hmm.
A or whatever, he told Devin about what he was gonna do if he made it there, and it was showing her to her, bringing her to his run club. So he's like, I wonder if he took that idea from me,
Maybe Devin does
potentially,
run.
potentially. Well, I mean, he might have a run club, but maybe he potentially like was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll like do that for my date.
I don't remember. Did we meet Devin's parents at all, or family?
I think the mom and like the stepdad.
Okay, okay. Because I don't remember that part. I kind of just blanked out.
No, I don't remember, but I remember he also showed her his dog, which was cute.
Right, I do
But
remember that. He's like, this will be like, this is my most or second loved girl or something like that.
yeah, but that's
Nothing to
basically what I
say.
remember. That he told her he loves her, and then the run club thing was, I was like, that's a little sketchy. Now after the fact, that was after the fact. I'm like, no, that's a little bit sketchy.
Right.
And then Jeremy, I don't have much about Jeremy. He was fine. He was also during his hometown. It was expressed that he was kind of closed off and not expressing his feelings as much as Jen would like. And then he ends up being sent home. So,
Well, that
well,
sucks.
and then we had Jonathan. I think Jonathan had a good. I like Jonathan's family actually, because I feel like they were very upfront that if Jonathan wanted to like progress in this relationship, he needed to open up. Like, he can't just be closed off because he's scared or something like that.
Right.
And I thought that was really good. They also seemed the most open to like this whole like situation with Jen, because like most of the families are like, I don't want you like hurting my son, because there's still 3 other guys.
Yeah.
But I feel like his family was more like, we just want like what's best, and hopefully
Right.
like you would be a great addition and whatnot. But and then Marcus's, I don't really remember what happened with Marcus's also.
I remember Marcus's. Marcus's, he picked like 2 people that he felt were like parental figures.
Yeah.
And then like a bunch of friends like surprised them
Yeah.
when they came in.
Well, I remember that. I just don't remember like much else.
Oh yeah, I don't remember anything else but that.
I just know that from this moment on, he just seems very, very unsure about how he's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And that was concerning.
Yeah, I don't know how honestly Marcus stayed because
No. I think it's just because Jenn really, really liked him. Like, really
she
wanted.
had hopes for him.
Yeah, I really had high hopes for him.
He's like what 30? The age gap is so big.
No, she's like 26, 27.
I guess, but like it sounds like he wants a family and everything. He's like, I want to live a life worth living, and I feel like she's still a student. She like,
But like
still
at the same
hasn't.
time, he's like so afraid to express any like feelings.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because it seemed like he was really holding back,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it seemed like it was kind of out of fear that he would make a mistake. Like he would not like they would if they got to a point and then they would break it off or something.
Right.
And he doesn't want that. Like of course nobody wants that, but if you are always afraid of what's gonna happen, then you're never gonna like get there because you're just like, well, that could happen, so I'm just not gonna even try that. Yeah, which is kind of concerning when you're 30 years old, but I guess you still have a lot of life to live at that point.
Yep.
Okay, next is Fantasy Suites. Honestly, don't really remember Fantasy Suites that well.
I didn't even watch Fantasy Suites.
I
You
don't
can
remember
talk about
anything
it.
that happened with Jonathan and Marcus. I know that she, at the end, tells Marcus that she loves him. And I feel like, honestly, I don't know if that was. I don't think it was untrue that she loves him, but I feel like she was really trying to get him to open up by saying that. And he definitely did not open up.
I found it weird that she said I love you to two guys. Like
Yeah.
she said I love you to Devin and then I love you to Marcus.
Well, I feel like the reason why she said I love you to both of them is because she was trying to get them to stay.
I just think that's very like not cute to say I love you to two guys.
No, I don't think because that's most of the time that's not what happens. It's like with Joey, he didn't say I love you to Kelsey until the end. And I feel like that they advise to do, or I don't know if they get advised not to say I love you until the end, but most of the time they don't want. Like most of the time, I feel like they try not to say it until the end.
Right. Yeah.
Which weird. Which is why I found it weird that she said I love you to Marcus so early. And why I also think that it was kind of her trying to get him to open up and be more vulnerable and like want her more in a way.
I'm starting to think she self-sabotaged her entire season.
Well, I think she self-sabotaged her season by picking these two guys. Like, Jonathan would have been way better in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
But I think, and maybe this is where she comes in, where she ends up picking toxic guys. Like, these guys just both aren't ready. They're both don't really align with what she wants. And I feel like Jonathan would have aligned more, in my opinion.
Right.
But yeah, so I think the I love you part when she told Marcus was her trying to pull something out of him that wasn't there. And the same thing with Devin, because Devin was going to leave. And she's like, he was going to her, telling her, I just don't know, like, where I am, like, where I'm at with you, and, like, where you're standing, and, like, it's been really hard on me. And then she's like, well, of course I love you. And it's like, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like she's not authentically saying that she loves him, but it also seems like she's trying to get him to just stay.
Dang.
In my opinion.
And in that moment, Devin devised his plan.
Maybe.
He's like, dang, Jenn loves me? That's crazy.
Yeah. But what do you think? Do you think she what do you think about her saying I love you to both of them?
I did not watch that episode. I didn't see it happen. My only notes are from the final episodes.
Okay, that's fine.
But we gotta get to the finale because the finale was crazy.
But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like at that point, because she's always been talking about how she's insecure about the guys not picking her, but I feel like she was really trying to get these two guys just to start picking her.
Right.
Because maybe this is kind of the point where it feels like Devin may have been pulling away when he was like contemplating leaving, because throughout the season I was like, oh, Devin's so assertive, he's so like trying
and now he has these doubts.
Yeah, but now he has all these doubts. It's like, that's so weird. One, because you're on a dating show. Like, this is literally a dating show. What do you think was gonna happen? Like, she can't just be like, oh yeah, I am all in with you, even though I have this other guy, I'm just playing him. Like, she's not gonna be like that.
Yeah, no.
So it's crazy. But Okay, moving on. Then after the "I love you" to Devin, the "of course I love you" or "stupid" or something like that. I don't remember what she said exactly. Then we move on to the "men tell all," which was
Ooh.
crazy in my opinion. I kind of don't remember all of it, but I do remember when Aaron said revealed who he was talking about when he left. He was like, "There's just some guys that aren't ready for this or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Yeah, of course I was talking about Devin and Sam N, but like also Spencer." And Spencer's like, "What are you talking about? You don't even know me."
Yeah.
And Hakeem's like, "Yeah, like what are you talking about?"
I love Hakeem. Oh my
Hakeem is so
gosh.
funny. He's like, and Aaron's just like, "Yeah, I just like didn't think you were." And it's like, what are you literally weren't even there that long.
Right.
So it was crazy. Also, Aaron's twin brother, Noah, was asked about what he thought about Aaron giving Devin that book about emotional intelligence because his brother was given a book his season like that. And his brother was like, "Yeah, I just don't think that's the right way to go because everybody's like on their own journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't think that's the way." And it's like,
That's funny.
tell your brother that.
For real, for real.
But that was funny. And then they have other things. They bring Jonathan in after he was sent home. And
Well, they also put a spider on Hakeem.
yeah, they put a spider on
They
Hakeem.
did him so
But
dirty.
Jonathan is going to paradise potentially. And I
He
think maybe
is?
Hakeem is.
Yeah, Hakeem was invited after the
Yeah.
spider thing. Because, of
And then,
course, exploit him and then invite him.
yeah. But then the big thing was Jenn confronts Sam N. Or Sam M.
She was like
She really went off.
yapping.
Yeah, she really went off on
She
him.
went off.
And I I'm kind of happy that after she watched back like the season that she recognized that they didn't really talk because we talked about how they didn't really talk.
Yeah, all they did was kiss.
Yeah, all they did was kiss. It's like, yes, you didn't talk, and that's what happens when you don't talk. You get this toxic man. I don't even know if he's a man,
No, he's
boy, but yeah. So that was crazy and all. But now we can move on if you want to all your notes because you have a lot of them.
not. Oh, I know. But they're all in the finale.
Yeah. So in the finale, we see their hometown or her bringing them to meet her family.
It's just Devin,
Devin
and Marcus now.
Yes.
I'm sad Jonathan got voted out. But anyway,
Yeah. I don't know. Jonathan just seems so sweet.
he had a list of dresses
Yeah.
that were his favorite.
Yeah.
That was just so nice. Anyway, he deserves better. But initially, I was okay. I went into this episode like super excited. I wanted to see hometowns because my parents speak Vietnamese, so like I just wanted to see like a fellow Vietnamese girl up there and their family and like subtly judge them. And so when she was talking to her mom, she's like, "Oh, I just really love Devin." You know, or like she would just say these weird things to her mom, and I'm just like, do you? To me, it sounded like she didn't speak to her mom at all growing up. Like she could Vietnamese, but like not really. And so I was like, do you speak to your mom? But then I get it because in an Asian household, sometimes your parents are just working so much that you don't get the chance to talk to them.
Yeah.
And your conversations aren't that deep. But I noticed how she brought her brother James, who seemed really old. Like he looked just super old. Like I don't know how old he is. Like super old compared to Jenn.
Well, he's an older brother.
He's probably like
so
30 or something. Yeah. And then Jen's mom, the sister, and I thought they brought in the aunt because like maybe she had a little bit better English. It didn't really seem like it. Like I felt like they should have
Maybe
honestly
it was just moral support. Because I don't think the mom necessarily wanted to be on TV.
Yeah.
So.
And I heard the mom was practicing English before she went on TV for her daughter.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and I was like, that's really nice. And then who was it? Her friend, her best friend, her friend was there. And I just noticed that she was white and I was like, okay, so she's like into white people. Like white guys, like white best friend. So
maybe. Yeah.
And it was nice to see that the questions that they were asking were very blunt. I was like, because they have no other way to fluff it up. They're just like, so are you ready?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like and what they said was very valid. Like the mom was very concerned about how fast this like journey is, and honestly,
It's pretty fast.
It is pretty fast, and I think they would have benefited. At least Jenn would have benefited more if she would have had more time
Yeah.
with just all of them, because maybe she would have been able to decipher more.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if it was longer, people like Devin would have left.
Her mom was like, yeah, in Vietnamese culture, like, you date for longer, like, this is not enough time to get to know them.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking, I don't think that's true. Like, I think she made that up. Like, it could be true, but I'm like,
Yeah.
most Asian cultures, like, they want you to get married really fast because, like,
Yeah.
you're like, I guess your value and your time, and it's just kind of like you need to get married fast.
Maybe if
in
you
Asian
date
culture.
somebody else that's Vietnamese, but like since both of them are not within their culture, maybe she's more hesitant.
Yeah, I get her hesitancy though.
Yeah, but also I feel like for Devin at least, it seemed like he was really, really concerned about getting a blessing, and like
Devin,
yeah, which is like understandable because like Jen wants an engagement,
right?
but at the same time, it seemed like that's all he talked about, which was kind of I'm like, well,
Well, he talked about how like they bonded over the fact that like they didn't have a dad growing up and how they both have abandonment issues.
yeah,
What else? And he was like, "Oh, I would love to get your blessing." And James is like, "Sorry, I have to meet the other guy first." And
yeah.
I was like, "That's so funny." He
It's
also
just
mentioned he's never dated an Asian before.
yeah.
But he's like, "But I am willing to learn and love Vietnamese culture." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I don't know. I feel like he's just trying to play up. I don't not play up, just do what he's supposed to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing what would flow naturally.
Oh, you know what's also funny? When he was trying to relate to them, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm half white and half Hispanic," and I was like, "So being like a halfsie is gonna make you relate to this Vietnamese family?" I was like, "That's so funny." When he mentioned that, I was like, "That's so unnecessary to comment on that." But
Yeah.
yeah, my thought was like, I guess this is towards the end, but I thought that maybe he like felt like his ego was like let down or like he felt unmanly when she proposed to him. But
Mm.
I think at the end of the day, he just like was a douche. Like he just like didn't want to
Well, yeah. The thing
pursue it.
is, I feel like the switch up. It just really just the switch up is so 180 in my opinion, because based on how she described what happened, he basically just said, "I don't love you anymore." Which
Mm-hmm.
is crazy to say, especially over like a phone call or whatever. I don't even know if it was over a phone call. I know they broke up over a phone call,
Right.
but I just think that's just weird, especially since he was so into her
Mm-hmm.
or like so assertive the whole season, and so
Yeah.
just like trying to be like getting time with her and stuff. It just seems very
I
weird
think he
that
was trying really hard just to like see how like far he could go.
yeah,
He was like trying to test the boundaries. Like how much can I steal Jen's attention? And how like bad can I be? How assertive can I be?
yeah,
Because at a certain point, like you have to respect other people's time. But he was just like going at it. Like he was just trying to like he was asking to get kicked out. But like Jen was like, I want a ferocious love.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think the thing is he just I don't know. I just in my and even in the beginning I was like I just don't know what it is about Devin. He just is not. It would not be somebody I would be like. Yeah, he seems somebody that could be marriage material at this point.
Yeah. From the
I
beginning,
don't know.
I
And
thought
I
he
think
was
it's more
ugly.
just his looks, but I don't know what about like. I feel like he gives off like goofy person who's not that serious.
No, he like his smile looks manipulative.
Yeah,
Like to me, he looks ugly and manipulative.
yeah. It gives off a person that is tries to be like the fun guy,
Right.
but to hide that he isn't really there for serious reasons and isn't really. I feel like because when you're the fun person, people aren't. They let their guard down
Mm-hmm.
more, so it's more like, oh, he's just trying to be fun, not like, oh, he has ulterior motives or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow, I definitely said that wrong, but okay. Um,
Anyway,
but
I
yeah,
thought that like I would have wished that James warned like Devin to Jen. Like you could just tell, like looking at him, like he looks like a douche. Like, and James had offered really good advice to her. It felt like she had listened, and like at one point he like teared up and like was like crying.
Yeah.
Over like his advice and like her situation, and like he's very, like, I guess, empathetic. And I was like, why couldn't you just warn her that he looks douchey? Like he looks like a douche.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the thing is you don't want to. There's like a specific, like a line where it's like you want to be supportive but also like protective, and you don't, because like you don't want to be like, you can't date him, you can't do this.
That's fair.
Because then she's gonna be like, what right do you have to say that to me?
That's
But
fair.
at the same time, you don't want to be like, just do whatever you want. Like, it's like not my responsibility, I guess.
I wish there was screen time from the friend. Like I feel like the friend would be real with him and be like, that guy looks like a douche.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But anyway, moving on. I don't have anything else to say about Devin meeting her family. Do you?
No.
Anything else to add?
Really.
Okay, let's move on to Marcus. Marcus was the second guy, and I don't quite remember what did they even say. I think he came off very like, when he's like, yeah, well, they're like, so how are you feeling or something like that. He was like, yeah, I'm unsure if I like love her yet, but like I really want to get there. I really want to get, like, he would say that, and like everyone just like frowned. I was like, oh, okay. Like I appreciate that he was open with his feelings and how like he wasn't there yet, but he wanted to get there, and he was like, but I don't know why I'm not there yet. Like I want to get there. And I'm like, what kind of internal battle are you fighting? Like if you have to fight this love, like literally just like leave.
Yeah, I think he could have worded it better in terms of, he could have been like, I just need more time since this journey is so, like, this process is so fast. I just want more time to get to know her and whatnot. And if I know Jenn wants an engagement, or she wants an engagement by the end, but her family seems like they don't necessarily
You
think
do
that
not want that for her.
they like that's necessarily the right thing to do, is go into an engagement so fast. So if he would have been like more like, I really do want to get engaged at some point, I just want to take more time, maybe.
He's like 30, and I feel like he's old enough. He should be smarter. And his line of, I want to live a life worth living, gives me the vibe of like he wants to jump at an opportunity and go right at it. But here he's like so hesitant and doubtful. I'm like, what are you scared of? Live the life you wanted to live for.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I feel like the way he came off was very like, I'm not ready. I just am literally not in a place to like be
It felt like he
in
wanted to
a
be the
serious
Bachelor or
relationship.
something.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to be like runner up. Like he didn't want to like put his heart out there because he like didn't want to get to propose or like propose to Jen, but he wanted to be runner up because at that point he was basically runner up.
Well, I just, sorry. This is.
No, go ahead. What are your
But I
thoughts?
just saw, like, maybe earlier this afternoon, that apparently he wanted it to be Daisy, the Bachelorette.
Oh, I know. All the men don't want it to be Jen.
Yeah, but like apparently, because I don't know if it was like some friend or something that's told somebody, but yeah, apparently he wanted it to be Daisy,
That makes sense. I feel like
which is so disappointing.
deep down, I don't think she's like she's very well spoken in the words that she speaks, but also I feel like she doesn't get anywhere with the words that she speaks. Like she just goes round and round. I think that she lacks the maturity to. I feel like she's very self conscious about the fact that everyone didn't want her to be the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And then at the final like live viewing, she was like, and then you went ahead and like followed Maria after a breakup, like her mentioning someone else's girl. It felt like she was like lashing out on that insecurity. Like she's like, I know you all aren't here for me. I tried my best.
I don't mind her saying that, because I would be like, I think the way she approached the whole process was probably not in her best interest, in my opinion. But I think it was wrong that Dev, especially when their season's not even over, like, to like do that, especially when you're supposed to be in a relationship with her, or you just got out of a relationship with somebody who you know would have that insecurity,
Right.
in terms of like feeling like she wasn't the one that people wanted. So, but I feel like that kind of drove her throughout the whole thing because one of the things that she expressed so strongly was her insecurity of not being chosen. And I feel like that kind of clashes with how she also wanted to be portrayed as like the person who gets to choose what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, choose that she gets to propose and choose, like, earlier she was like, I want to, like, I don't want Thomas and like, you to make decisions for me. I want to make my decisions. But at the same time, it seems like she was like, her insecurity was, I want them to choose me. Which, like, every
Yeah.
person wants your partner or significant other to choose them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it felt like instead of her dictating the relationships that she thought were, well, maybe she did this, but instead of her dictating it, it seemed like she wanted them to chase her, which is fine. But then you get the guys chasing you, maybe not for the right reasons.
Right. Yeah.
And the guys that potentially, like a Jonathan, who was slow, were with his feelings, didn't chase as much as like a Devin,
Mm-hmm.
but may have been a better match. Didn't end up getting to the end because it was like, oh well, Devin's always the one like saying I love you and doing all this stuff that makes me feel good. But was there anything like substance behind that? No, maybe not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know because it felt like the whole time, most of the time, it's like, oh, I wanna like she. It just felt like her insecurity of not being chosen and not being picked
Mm-hmm.
was like her whole like plot line.
That's sad, but yeah,
Yeah. And then in the end, she didn't get picked, which is sad.
I know.
She's like, yeah, you promised me that you would always pick me, and then, but now look at where we are with
I
Devin.
think she was way too. So now we're jumping. So we had talked about how both the guys met her family, and then Jesse, the host, was like, "Okay, we're gonna pause it here now. Normally you'd watch the proposal, but we're gonna have the two people come out." And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think she she was expressing well, she came out and she was like sobbing, like
Yeah.
she didn't say anything yet, and I was like, something bad had happened. But I think that she was like really into the relationship. She, to my shock, she like really loved Devin. Like, I watched an Instagram video, I think, or TikTok, of her describing, or not describing, explaining her reason why she picked specific Taylor Swift songs for each like night or
Mm-hmm.
each episode of every week. And she had picked a song because it was like, it relates to his birthday, which is like January 31st or something like that. And I was like, and she's like,
Okay.
that was my favorite song because I picked it. And I was like, you shockingly really love him, and he like doesn't care at all. Like, I think she like suffocated him with her love. Like, she's like, I want a family with you, I want to get married with you, like I want everything with you, like I love you. Like, she was
Well,
like so into the relationship, and he was like not there.
well, I feel like on the show, it's so maybe that's what happened after the show, but on the show, it seemed like he was the one like giving her very big promises that didn't end up panning out, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she felt like, oh, well, you said this, so she believed that.
Right.
Like he basically made an image of himself that she was like, oh, you really want like what I want, and you really are like into this relationship and really like loved me and whatnot or whatever. And then it didn't end up happening. Like he didn't end up being that person in real life, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
which is sad. But I think also it's just disappointing because after she did express all her insecurities and stuff, instead of she was talking about how she like offered to do like things like couples therapy
Yeah,
and stuff,
she's like, he
and she's
wouldn't
like,
do couples therapy.
it kind of felt like, well, he really didn't even want to try, which makes it seem like he wasn't really invested in the relationship from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. Because most of the time, if you really like somebody or you really were caring for somebody, you would try at least a little bit. But it seemed like he was like, no,
I
I
feel like
don't.
Asian is not his type. Like, he fooled himself.
I feel, but like,
He
I
fools
think that
me.
happens in a reality TV show
Right.
where it's like people are really there for the fame or like the exposure.
Okay, but now he's like the most hated man ever. Like,
But
people
the
are,
thing is, even if you're hated, you still can get a following.
I guess that's fair, but that's not like the type of following you want. Like, they started commenting on his business Instagram profile, like just like, oh, my stuff didn't get here on time, and like making all these things up. Like, he turned off his comments
Yeah,
on his
I feel like
business Instagram.
because I feel like that will wash over, so he'll still end up potentially being on the up. Because even when you're hated, things like wash over. Like James Charles was hated at one point, and I feel like he's still doing fine. So
I guess that's fair.
what's her name? Leah
Hmm.
from Joey's season.
Mhm.
People didn't like her after she pretended to be a girl's girl, and I feel like she's doing fine now.
I don't think, to be honest, I really don't think Devin's gonna come back from this. He's private now on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not accepting
He
any
might not
followers.
wanna like be in that either. So
Yeah.
but
No, he's crazy.
I don't know.
What else? Jenn mentioned that he went to New York and partied with Jeremy at a club, and there was videos that show Maria and Jeremy partying together.
Yeah.
And so like the assumption is that he was with Maria, but then Maria came out
Yeah.
and was like, just because we're friends doesn't mean I won't support her. Like, you don't disrespect her like that. And she's like, I only party with Jeremy and not Devin.
Yeah.
So at least Maria came out and said all those things, but I'm like, why is she being roped into all of this? Like, it's not her fault that like everyone likes her.
I think I just saw a TikTok about this too, and somebody was saying how it kind of felt like she should have just been like, oh, because other people came out in like support of Jen and being like, oh, like this was so hard, and
Right.
like we are giving like sending all our love or something like that, and this girl was like, Maria should have just done that because her trying to defend herself, which is fine, but at the same time, it just is that wasn't really the point of what Jen was trying to do. Is more just trying. I don't feel like personally. I don't feel like Jen was really trying to dig at Maria. It was more trying to be like, why are you doing this? Like, why is Devin like
Right.
doing this?
Yeah. No, it
It's
was
not
more
like
so Devin.
oh, Maria did something and I trying to dig at her. It's more Devin knows that this would be something that would hurt me and he did it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think this TikToker was saying was like she should have just been like I I feel so bad for Jen, like I'm sending all my love. That's it. Because she also added, we're not friends anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, why do you have to add that? It's not necessarily important you could say that. People already know that you're probably not friends. So
Mm-hmm.
just be like say it briefly. Because she also was like earlier had a story that was she's like, I just got back from vacation and now I'm gonna like spill all the tea basically.
Mm-hmm.
And but then she deleted that story.
Oh.
And she posted her TikTok
She posted her
eventually.
TikTok. Yeah, she's
But
like, I'm on a family vacation.
yeah, but people were like, I wonder what she was gonna like say because. But then people were like, if she says something bad like about Jen, people were like, this is not gonna be good because people are so supportive of Jen right now.
Okay, part of me when I saw her crying, I thought she was sad because she had like publicly said that she was taking time off of school so that she could have time to do like press tours and things that are related to the Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like non-existent because there's like there's no couple, like they're broken up.
Yeah.
And so like I thought she was like, tearing up for that aspect. Like, dang, she has no press tours. Like, all that fame of being a bachelorette is like gone. And also, how come if Devin was in it for the fame, why wouldn't he have stayed with her to do those press tours and then break up after? Because that's what people normally do.
I feel like he just didn't want to like pretend
Maybe, yeah.
anymore.
Maybe he just wanted to hook up with other girls.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably it. Because why are you going clubbing if you are so sad about your relationship? Like, I don't know if necessarily I would want to be clubbing if I was sad.
That's fair. No, was not torn up at all over the relationship.
I don't know. I feel like it was so cruel of them to play the proposal with them sitting there like next to each other. I'm like, why do you need to do that? You could play the proposal before they have to come out and sit next to each other and she can lash into him after.
Or she could have left.
Yeah.
And he could have watched it.
Yeah. I don't know. That just seems so mean to do.
Like, I know it's within the contract, but like,
but you don't have to be like, okay, now you're gonna sit here. It's like torture. It's like sitting there with the person that broke your heart,
Uh-huh.
watching how you like confess your love to him.
Yeah, and then she was like, do we even get a choice?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, dang.
And then after, apparently, 45 minutes after the show had ended, she was asked to like fly to LA or New York. I don't remember.
Oh
I think it
yeah.
was New York to do Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, I'm happy that she's able to do that.
I'm glad she did it, but like I feel like respectfully, she should just like prioritize herself and not be like last choice. It seems like a last minute ad.
Well, I do. Yeah, it's probably less, but I think it's a good opportunity for her still.
ABC probably feels bad, and they're like,
Yeah,
we're gonna add her on. So
because I feel like so many people love her now. Because people were saying how this was like the worst Bachelorette, but I feel like now people are like, we feel so bad for Jen and what happened.
I don't think it's the everyone loves her. Like I'm sure we all love her. I think she's just gained a lot of people that feel bad for her.
No, yeah, it's definitely people that feel bad for
Yeah,
her.
so I'm like,
But
that's not really the right type of people you want to have in your fan base. But
no, but like I think before people were like, oh, she's the worst because for various reasons. But honest, because the season wasn't maybe interesting enough for them. But it's like maybe it wasn't a Jen problem. Maybe it was the guys didn't really want her problem
mm,
now because it seems like some of the guys didn't really want her as much.
yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the entire season, so I can't really say.
Well,
But
there's one guy. Actually, there's multiple guys that's left. So one guy left because he didn't feel like he was getting enough time with her. Another guy left, and they weren't progressing, I guess. Another guy left because he got pilot school or whatever. I,
aviation school or something.
yeah, or whatever. I don't even know. Army, military thing.
I thought it was aviation, like flying.
But I think it was for like military something.
Yeah, it was like military aviation or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But and then Sam M was just a bad
He was
dude.
just a menace.
Yeah. And basically told her to her face that he wanted somebody else, which was
Right.
terrible.
Oh.
So I don't know. It seems like some of the people didn't really want to be there that much. Unfortunate for her, but
Kind of sad. I hope that it's sad that she's the first Asian American bachelorette and this is how her season went. But also, part of me is like, you did it to yourself, girl. Like, you fell in love with Devin. Like, okay, in my opinion, he seemed very like his first action of like he's done like douchey things leading up like on the first, second, third episode. Like she's done those things, but she saw like, oh my gosh, like he's assertive and blah blah blah, and like she was falling in love with him. I feel like I was fooled because she was falling in love with him. I just think that she self sabotaged and like someone should have said that she was dumb and that she had an ugly guy that was a douchebag and the other guy was unavailable. Like emotionally unavailable.
okay, yeah, Marcus was just he was just not gonna be there when she wanted him there. I
Yeah.
just feel like none of the guys were necessarily where she was
Mhm.
and where she wanted to be, but also weren't that int- or weren't that. I feel like the only one that really seemed like a good fit potentially for her was Jonathan. All the other
I
ones
still
just
think it's
kind
a
of
good
seemed
fit.
like I don't even know how to like. There's not a word that I can think of that would describe how it seemed, but it just seemed like they wouldn't either be wanting the same things as her, value the same things as her, or just didn't want her in general. I and there's like not a word that I can think of that would describe it, but like I think from her point of view, like you said, it seemed like Devin, like all of what he did was like very assertive, very like, oh, that's so attractive to like do that. But from like from a other person point of view, it's like that's kind of
Like why did he do that?
why like I would be annoyed if I was one of the other guys.
And okay, also he was ugly. Like could she have not picked like a hotter toxic guy?
Okay, when I said that he didn't look that good earlier in the last episode, you were like, you can't judge people based on their looks.
Did I say that?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, last
Yeah,
episode?
and I was like,
Okay, but
well,
like Devin and his like double chin when he looks down at her, it's just so prominent. I hate it. It's ugly.
yeah, but yeah, I just like I said in the last, I felt like he was more like a boy, like he's just not mature in how I felt. but and it kind of turned out that way.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I don't know. I think they all ABC also learned that they have to announce who the next one is sooner because of what happened with this one. Because if they would have had her as the choice sooner, at least the people that like applied would know and be there for her and not be like, oh, well, I'm hoping it's this person.
Right, yeah.
Because
I mean, the guys, when they apply, they, like, I'm sure they apply under the assumption that they don't know who the Bachelorette is going to be, so.
But like they have kind of a clue of like who's popular and who people like, and normally ABC will pick somebody who people are liking. They're not gonna pick. And not because like in Joey's season, I wouldn't say Jenn was really like stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I watched a lot of it, but it didn't seem like she stood out. A lot of people that stood out were Daisy and Maria. So people expected Daisy or Maria.
Yeah, my third pick would have been Rachel, the third runner-up.
Mm,
It would not have been Jenn.
yeah, so it's like people didn't, even though it is like the chance that it's not who you want. ABC most likely is gonna pick who's popular at the time. But apparently, they've learned their lesson and now have announced it sooner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for
Because,
sure.
yeah,
Any last thoughts? How would you rate this season?
I don't know. I feel like the Bachelor season, I find them a little bit more interesting. Actually, I like Bachelor in Paradise more than
I
like
have not seen
Bachelorette or
Bachelor in
Bachelor.
Paradise.
But I would say it was. Is it out of a 10 scale? Mm, 6, maybe.
I give that a 6 too.
Because I still love that she was the first Asian American Bachelorette. I don't love that all the contestants were people that, or most of the contestants weren't maybe thinking that it was going to be her.
Right.
And the whole ending, I feel like it was just very cruel to like put her through that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know it's like TV. I feel like I don't know. I wonder like this whole thing when Devin was contemplating leaving or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they pushed that or if that's how he actually felt. Cause
No,
like
he
you know how
probably
he
was
talked to
like.
Jesse. He's like, yeah, I just like don't know. I'm like, Jesse should have just been like, just leave, dude.
Well, honestly, I think Devin was like, "Dang, I should get out of here before I get proposed to and break her heart."
Yeah.
And he didn't get out fast enough.
Yeah. Well, no, because Jesse's like, well, maybe you should talk to her or something. I don't even know if he said that, but like, he was talking to Jesse. I'm like, this, he should just leave. He's really doubting this so much. But I don't know.
I really am curious if he really faked it all. Like, can you really genuinely fake loving someone to the point where you fool a girl? Like, was Jen stupid enough to fall for it, or was he really that believable? She's probably stupid.
I feel like she's just. I don't want to call her stupid. Just like maybe naive. Because you're also talking about the person that was really, really into Sam M, who literally was like
That's true.
so annoying.
I take it back. She's not stupid.
Yeah. But also, like, the guys are probably trying to show, like, in general, they're trying to show their best side of themselves. So, and, like, it's not like they're together all that often.
Right.
Because, like, they're not always on date. Like, they do one date a week, but, like, it's not always one on one. And sometimes it's a group date where it's. So, I don't know. Oh, yeah, but I hope she does well on Dancing with the Stars. I'm actually moving on. Unless you have other stuff
Oh no,
to
I have nothing else to add on the
add.
finale.
Moving on with Dancing with the Stars. I'm so excited for Steven Netorozic? I don't know. The pommel horse guy.
Right.
He's with Riley.
I know, I'm
I'm like, oh my
excited.
gosh, they're gonna be so cute. And yeah,
I'm also excited for seeing Anna Devlin.
yeah.
I hope to see her get voted out. I'm also excited for Jen and Sasha
Mhm.
and Joey, and that's it.
Yeah. I also want to see what's her Alona Mar. She's a rugby player.
Oh.
She's on TikTok too. But
Part of me thinks that they are putting Jenn on the or on the Dancing with the Stars because not only is it pity, but also they're probably trying to translate the viewers from The Bachelorette to Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, well, thank you for listening. Subscribe to us on YouTube and follow and like on Spotify and Apple. Yeah, that's all for today.
Bye bye.
Bye.